Hey Space Watchers, and welcome from Berlin. We are here in the Bremen state representation in Berlin. And why are we here? Today is launch day. It's launch day, hopefully, for the Ariane 6. So, and with me here I have Dr. Rolf Densing, and Dr. Rolf Densing is the head of ESA's, or the director of operations at ESA, and the head of the European Satellite Operations Center in Darmstadt, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Rolf, how are you doing today?
I'm doing perfectly fine. It's a nice evening. It's a good evening for a nice launch.
Absolutely. So tell us a bit about the Ariane 6 that we might see fly today, and how the Ariane 6 as a new European rocket fits into the European space strategy.
Well, the Ariane 6 is the rocket for the time being that provides guaranteed European independent access to space. So Europe, as a major economic region in the world, must have an independent access to space. We cannot afford others, in an extreme case, denying access to space, which, by the way, has happened in the past. Some of us remember the symphony shock, right?
That's right. That's right. Okay, so last week the ESA Council decided for a diversity in launchers, in the commercialization of launchers. So where do you see the Ariane 6 in this environment? Because it was more about the Vega and the smaller launchers, but where's Ariane 6 as a heavy launcher?
Well, there's a multitude of launchers in Europe. Many small launchers and micro launchers are under development. So many of them, even without public funding. Then we have the smaller ESA developed rocket, together with industry, of course. The Vega, and then we have the heavy lift Ariane rocket. So how do they compare? I would say not at all, because there are satellites that you can only launch with a heavy lift launcher, and there are other satellites that you can launch with smaller launches. Now the question is, everything begins with building the satellite. Often you can design a satellite to fit in one or another launcher, and we in Europe always try to build our satellites so that they fit in a European launcher.
So where do you see main use cases for the Ariane 6 as a heavy launcher? I mean, that can vary from one big satellite, telco satellites that we have seen in the past, or a James Webb science satellite that goes to a mission, or a constellation, or everything in between.
Exactly, Torsten. You said it. It's the versatility that makes Ariane 6 superior to Ariane 5. So Ariane 6, we like to say, can serve any orbit with any payload, more or less. So it's there to serve all institutional and commercial markets. It's reignitable in the upper stage. So it's really a workhorse, and I'm looking forward to see it work.
As you say, workhorse, that was also said for the Ariane 5, so it's big shoes to fill, potentially. But one point we see in the media more and more, it's competitiveness. We all see Elon Musk launching with SpaceX more or less every week at the moment. And is competitiveness for the Ariane 6 still a part of this concept, or will it serve, as you mentioned before, for the interest of the European autonomy and access to space?
Well, it's tough to balance autonomy, strategic needs and budgets against each other. I believe we Europeans need an independent access to space. I wouldn't say cost it what it costs. No, it should be affordable as well. And mind you, Ariane 6 is a lot more affordable than an Ariane 5, both in development and in operational cost.
Great. So the only thing we need is now success. We get it launched and then get it into the commercialization phase, I think.
Very good.
Rolf, thank you very much for your time,
Torsten.
and good luck for all of us.
Thank you.
With that, SpaceWatch out.